Hey, hey, it's Sherisse Marie, and I'm live at your feet. Hello. Oh my gosh. I am, my son is making buns downstairs, and they smell delicious. So after I do all my lives, I'm going to go have buns. Fresh, homemade buns. And I made soup yesterday, and it was delicious. So I'm going to have homemade chicken soup, a little bit satay, a little bit not satay, and because I threw some pesto in it too. And I'm going to have fresh buns with my soup. I'm excited. What are you guys having for supper tonight? I'm so curious. So, today I want to talk about letting go, giving up, when to do them, when not to do them, and when it is time for you to simply say, I don't know what the next move is. Okay. This is a really big thing, and this is something that we work on a lot actually with my clients. So I feel like it's time that I shared some of this juju with you, juju. Okay, so you're stuck. You're struggling with something, you don't know what the next move needs to be. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by something. Maybe you're feeling that something doesn't serve you anymore. Maybe you are just tired of beating your head against a wall and not getting anywhere. Been there, done that, got the t shirt. Now, sometimes we give up too soon, and that's okay. If you've given up on something or you've let go of it, that's okay. If you have said that dream no longer matters, that is okay. There's a fine line, though, when you're hanging on to something between hanging on to it and being happy about hanging on to it or hanging on to it and feeling like it is something that you need to do and hanging on but resenting, feeling frustrated, feeling angry, feeling unloved, unappreciated, all the negative emotions. And that is the tipping point. Okay. So letting go is different from giving up. Letting go is letting it go. It is releasing it from the universe. It is part of the PAF method that I teach people is, permission, acceptance, forgiveness, release. You're letting it go. You are forgiving yourself. You are giving yourself permission, and then you are just simply letting go of the balloon, letting go of yours half of the tug of war string. Okay. Giving up is slightly different. When you have given up instead of let go, what happens is that you end up feeling like a failure, feeling you blame yourself a lot. When you give up, you're saying, I didn't deserve it. I did not, whatever the negative story is that you're telling yourself. And so it's important when there is that letting go, giving up tension to make sure that you are letting go as much as humanly possible. There are occasions when you have to just give up, when that is the only way that you are going to be able to move forward. Because let me be honest here, letting go emotionally can be really difficult. It can feel very uncomfortable at times. It can feel very overwhelming at times. If you're not quite ready to let go completely and you just want to give up, go for it. The only difference, really truly, the only difference between letting go and giving up is your mindset around it. Let me say that again because it's really important. The only difference between letting go and giving up is your mindset. You can let go or you can give up. The true measure of whether you are letting go or giving up is, how does the thought of that make me feel? Does it feel comfortable and peaceful, or does it fill me with rage or sadness or anger? When we still have a trigger attached to whatever it is that we were hoping would happen, it can feel very, very, very uncomfortable to let go. It can feel like you're never going to be able to understand it. When you let go of the trigger, you've let go of requiring any kind of outcome. You're saying, okay, I give up the wheel to the universe. Now, there's all kinds of religious connotations here. They kind of have the right idea, though. There are situations that it is the right thing to do to let the universe control what's going on. And that can be really scary to admit. It really can be. It can also be really fantastic to admit. Like, okay, I have, you know, XYZ, and none of them are making me happy. They're not the things that I actually wanted anymore. Whew, just admitting that to yourself can be such a relief. That is not giving up, that is letting go. And admitting that to yourself is so incredibly important. And if you're not ready to let go or give up, honor that as well, because that's obviously something chirping in your ear saying, you know what, we're not quite there yet. We need one more try. We need one more thing. We need this. We need that, whatever it is. Honor that. Don't push against it. If your soul is calling for you to continue doing something, continue doing it. If your soul, though, is calling out for you to stop doing something, then it's time to analyze whether you are letting go or giving up, and then let it go or give it up. But even if you're giving it up, you're kind of letting it go. So honor that for yourself, okay? Honor that you can let go of things. Even if it feels like giving up, you have the power to reframe all of your choices, period. I hope that this is resonating for me. If you have any questions about this topic, because this isn't a topic that I've talked about a lot in here, but if you do have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I do see there are a couple people here live. And I would love to hear what your thinking is on this. If you feel like I'm telling you the truth, if you feel I'm telling you lies, let's have a conversation, okay? But it's really important when it comes to all of this stuff to really, really honor where you are in the journey, honor where you want to be in the journey, and really, truly give yourself grace and permission. And if you are really struggling with letting go of something or giving up on something, you've got something that's it's feeling like a heavy burden and you don't know how to move to the next level, just remember my indie reference, because I love myself some indie, okay? Where he's standing at the leap from the lion's mouth and he's like, I I don't see a way forward. All I see is the way behind me, and that's not really the way back. but I don't see the path. And sometimes it just requires a little reframing, one direction or the other. Sometimes it requires you to cast a little bit of sand out, cast some grains of sand out and see. And sometimes it really does require that leap of faith, that stepping out into the abyss to just see what's there. And if that scares the bejesus out of you, then maybe it's what you need to be doing. But if it does, then you really do need to consider finding yourself some kind of coach or guide or mentor who can give you the tools to get to the next level, who can be your cheerleader, your mirror, who can, in a good way, not in a bad way, but your cheerleader, your mirror, who can allow you the grace to get to letting go instead of giving up. Because here's the big secret to this, okay? This is the big secret to this. If you gave up on something 2 years ago and you're still beating yourself up about it, there is still time to let go of it and to make peace with it. And doesn't that sound amazing? That knowledge that you can make peace with the thing that is hurting you. Oh my gosh, who doesn't want to make peace with that? Who doesn't want to feel more loved, more special, more kind to themselves? Who doesn't want to be able to say, oh, download? Who doesn't want to be able to say, I quit something 2 years ago and I gave up on it. And today I let it go. I put the burden down. I released that emotional charge that it held for me. And in doing that, I created a new future for myself. Boom. Hey, Kelly, I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Marianne, I'm so sorry that you have to go. Come back and watch the rest of this, though, because it's a good one. It's a good one. But definitely the important pieces of this are that you give yourself permission to feel what you need to feel in the moment, that you give yourself space to feel the things that you need to feel in the moment, that you accept that they are your feelings, and that you forgive yourself, the situation, the other people in your world, and that as you do that, the world just kind of falls open like a beautiful flower and gives you, oh my God, such a download. I'm not even tired, people. This is all downloads. And gives you space to heal, to create a new future for yourself, for your children, for your grandchildren, for their children. Because here's the big secret. Well, another big secret. I know I'm so big secrety today, right? Another big secret about this is that the healing work that we do isn't just for us, it's for future generations too, and for past generations, because really every second of every life that has ever been lived is all dancing on the head of a pin, bouncing on top of each other, as well as a big line. That's a whole other conversation because that bends your noodle pretty hard. Uh, but it really is, because when you heal, especially if you're healing generational trauma, when you heal that trauma, that pain, that wounding, you're not just healing yourself. You're healing your relationship with your children. You're healing your relationship with your parents. You're healing their relationship with their parents and with their grandparents and like 40 generations back, because this stuff lingers in your DNA for 40 generations. And you're changing the way that your children will parent their children, who will parent their children differently than they would have if you did not do this healing work right now. And I know that that is an awe-inspiringly scary thing to think about, but it is absolutely true. The impact of, okay, now here's the thing, a butterfly flapping their wings in Mexico can have a huge impact on weather in Alaska, in Denmark. It's crazy, but it is so incredibly true and so powerful to know that that is the truth, that your change can be so incredibly impactful for yourself, for future generations, even if you don't have children, and some of the people in here don't, but it is still nieces and nephews and the people that you love and care about, their children. Because if you change you, you change everything. And that is something that I have learned. When I started on this journey 4 years ago, um, my relationships with people were not where they are now. My relationships with people have changed because I changed, and their relationships with each other and with other people have changed, and they've made different choices in their lives because of the me that I have become. I'm so glad that you have a connection with your daughter again, Kelly. I know that that was incredibly painful for you, but that was the space that was needed for you to complete your or to start even with your healing, to get you to the point where you could create a different future for yourself, a different, make different choices. And that is, you're the butterfly in Mexico who's having an impact, a huge impact, not just on yourself, but on everyone else around you. And if you are feeling a little scared and overwhelmed, maybe it's time that we talked about working together and creating this transformation in yourself, in the people around you, in the lives that you touch. I mean, it doesn't even have to be people that you love, just strangers on the street. Strangers on the street. If you react to them slightly differently than you would have with when you were carrying around all of that pain, all of that regret, all of that anger and frustration and fear, if you react slightly different to that person, you might change their entire trajectory of their life too. And oh my gosh, doesn't that sound good? Let's be honest, doesn't it? I think that sounds amazing. Like, please let me do that. Let me have that impact on other people's lives because you deserve all the amazingness that life has to give you. You just have to open up and let it wash over you. Let it become part of your soul. And when you do that and you give yourself grace and permission, everything changes. So if you are feeling stuck and you are feeling that you cannot make a change in your life, find someone. Find someone who can walk you through that change, someone who has been there and done that. Hello! And someone who can give you permission to transform your life. My son just brought me one of his fresh, oh, look at this fluffy, fluffy, fresh bun. Oh, it's perfect. I'm going to eat that and then I'm going to go do my next live. So that is it for me today. Wherever you are in this big, beautiful, amazing, fantastical world, have a fantastic day. Reach out to someone and get help. And whatever you got going on, enjoy it. Have some fun. Make some bread. Bread is the stuff of life, and it really does absolutely open you up to all the best things. Love you guys, and we'll talk soon. Bye.